When I was growing up in church, all of the local youth groups in the area had this skit that was kind of popular and was going around the churches, and it was of the pastor getting on this chair, and he would encourage one of the kids to try and pull him down while he tried to help them up. And not, 100% of the time, I think the kid was always able to pull the pastor down from the chair, even though the pastor was bigger and stronger. And it was supposed to kind of paint this picture of the people you surround yourself with can pull you down faster than you're able to pull them up. And it was supposed to be an illustration of why it's important to choose the right friends and hang out with the right people. And it kind of reinforced the idea of don't hang out with dirty sinners, right? And I used to think that skit was so good, and it kept me on the straight and narrow because I'm a rule follower, and I didn't want to, be caught being influenced by people that I didn't want to live like. And so it worked for me. But then I got a little older and I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Why are we teaching kids that? Why are we teaching youth groups don't hang out with the dirty sinners because they could influence you more easily than you could influence them? Why are we not instead teaching our kids how to have a personal relationship with God so that nothing can shake their faith, so that no one that they come in contact with will be able to sway them? Because I can tell you right now, you could get the most intelligent atheists in all of the country, in all of the world, and put them in a room together and try to convince me that God's not real, and you wouldn't be able to do it because I've experienced him for myself. It's kind of like if you went back in time, back to when TV didn't exist, internet didn't exist, and you went to a remote rainforest where these people lived in this hot, muggy climate, and you tried to convince them that snow existed. They probably wouldn't believe you. What do you mean that this ice is falling from the sky, but it's fluffy and it looks like a blanket? What are you talking about? That's not what ice is. They may not even know what ice is. But you would know what snow is because you had experienced it. You had seen it for yourself. So even these people arguing with you would not be able to convince you that snow doesn't exist. It's the same thing with God. When you truly experience him for yourself, nothing can convince you that he doesn't exist. Nothing and no one. Why do you think that all of the disciples were martyred for their beliefs? This is why, because they couldn't be convinced otherwise, and they were willing to defend that even with their lives. So maybe, instead of teaching our kids that these dirty sinners can influence them, maybe we need to be teaching them how to have a real relationship with God for themselves, and then sending them out into the darkness. Sending them out where these people who need Jesus are, so that they can be the light. Because one thing about light is that no amount of darkness can overshadow it. If you were to put a candle in the darkest room ever, no amount of darkness would be able to snuff that candle out, because the light will always overpower the darkness. So let's teach our kids how to see the light. I don't know. It's just a thought.